Welcome back. At least 5 wildfires are burning across Los Angeles. 5 people are dead. More than 130,000 residents are under evacuation orders. My next guest's Malibu home on Carbon Beach was one of the homes in danger. Take a look at this video on your screen of that neighborhood. Joining me now is Cardone Capital and Cardone Training Technology CEO and private equity fund manager, real estate investor as well, Grant Cardone. Grant, good to see you. Our support goes out.
That's a crazy way to title this. Real estate tycoon rips into California Democrat. It's Grant Cardone. Why shouldn't you just say that? Why don't you just the title? That title, wow.
To you,
I had
what
no
can
idea.
you tell us? Has there been severe damage to your home?
Yeah, there's been severe damage. We were one of the last homes standing. That's right there on Carbon Beach, is some of the most prestigious beaches in the country. And for years, Maria, the government, the local government and the state government, with the help of the oppression of the Coastal Commission, has disallowed and prevented, because of regulations, development along that coast. And this has been a tinderbox for years. I've lived there 35 years in that area. And for years, I've said this is a tinderbox. It's waiting to go off. The night before the fires broke out, I stated in a public audience here in Miami that if the fires jumped the road, literally the entire beach front would be burned up. There's hundreds of billions of dollars of damage across California that could have been.
And people don't even realize, like, a lot of these people are not like him, that, like, some people inherit these properties. Like, you just think of millionaires probably be there. Oh, they rich. No, some of these people, great-great-grandparents bought property here, and it's just they had it and they developed it, or they whatever. It just go in a family. Sometimes they have generational wealth. But then you have some people like Grant, maybe, that just was able to go from the bottom to the top and then buy his way in here. But, yeah, and I've been hearing insurance been denying everything. They starting to deny everything.
Been prevented if California actually had its priorities correct. Newsom should resign himself, or the California people should evict him from office immediately.
Tell me, what specific policies did he put in place that you say could have prevented this?
Well, number one, their priorities are screwed up. This is a corrupted government that depends on the federal government under emergency situations. They make more money in emergencies than they do by just budgeting, just planning out their budget. So number one, they should deforest. Okay, they don't want to because they don't want to displace rodents. Number two, the water issue, the high pressure that they're going to defend and say we had plenty of water, we didn't have pressure. Well, if they didn't spend $12 billion on high-speed rails going to Vegas or basically nowhere, you would have that money to, one, bury electrical and provide pressure to all the hydrants. This is just, and it happens at our national level too. It's a mismanagement of priorities. The state of California for the last 25 years is more interested in freak fringe groups' agendas than they are the population of California. And at some point, the people.
That's probably a little harsh. I don't know who we talking about yet. But just before I get the context, freak, what do you say? Freak what?
Fringe groups agenda.
Freak fringe group agendas. You got to, I don't know. Either he came with that off the top of the dome or he had that pre-planned, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. But I guess he mean like these, these extreme trans groups and other groups that just want outrageous stuff and men to be women and women to be men. Like be what you want. You have the ability and the duty of the pursuit of happiness. This is America. We all believe that our dreams could come true. That's what keep us working and getting up every day and making it worth it. Like, oh, I could possibly do it anytime. I could win a lotto, whatever. Just one day, $1 in a dream. I could just make it. It could be my day. But they just want crazy stuff. That's what he's talking about.
Than they are the population of California. And at some point, the people of California, maybe this is going to be it, Maria, where the people of California finally have had enough and start voting conservative, common sense politicians or business people into government to manage their budget.
this ain't like some outskirts, like to the west or to the north of Pasadena or something. This is like fucking LA, bro. Santa Monica. This is sightseeing. Like, this is going to impact California for years and years to come. Some people ain't gonna want to go to, let's go drive through the scenic routes in Santa Monica and look at all the big houses, and they're gonna be like, holy shit, like, let's, like, it's gonna feel like a goddamn 9/11 memorial, like going to that big like thing that they put in place of the Twin Towers, like that little thing. Like, I haven't even been to it yet, but I plan on going, and like I can imagine that's how I feel. Like, that's now how I'm feeling about Santa Monica. Like, I haven't seen it yet, but it's like people gonna go there for the next couple of years to say, "Wow, look what happened." Instead of, "Oh my God, look how beautiful these houses are." One day look at that one. I want that one. Which one would you take? I'll take that one. I'll take that one. Damn. This is LA. Like, this going to affect fucking gang members. This might be some shit to help bring the black community together. If you want to look at it on the bright side, like any little bit, like gangbangers don't even got fucking houses no more. This going to stop crime in California for a little bit. Like, it's, oh man, like, are they going to come together and it's going to make even worse slums? Holy shit. Ooh. Now you're gonna have a mixture of, this is the like, I wonder what part of California. Let me look that up. What part of California houses the most immigrants? What part of Cali has the most? Let me see. Monterey and San Bernardino, Cali. Let me see. This is a map. 2 million. Listen, that's going to affect a lot of illegal population. Like, now it's mixed in. And you're going to have Trump in them, and the borders are coming here and maybe trying to get illegals out of here, and then I don't know if that's going to make their job easier or harder. Oh, my God. My mind started going down a rabbit hole about this. Oh. Wow. All these dishouse people. Now they're the... Damn. But listen, Americans going to come together. I know that. We joke and everything else and think of stuff, but we're going to come together. Nothing brings America together like this. Maybe California going to want to change their mind and go red. Because they going to say, we can't have this shit no more. We ain't worried about who this and that and fucking diversity, inclusion. Just get the job done.
Well, I mean, look, this is exactly what President Trump said yesterday. He's blasting Gavin Newsom for his handling of these apocalyptic wildfires. He wrote this on Truth Social. Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snow melt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smelt fish by giving it less water. It didn't work, but didn't care about the people of California. Newsom's press office is denying the existence of any water restoration declaration document, though. They're claiming that it's pure fiction. Fox Business
Maria,
has
they
confirmed.
cut the budget this year.
Go ahead.
They cut the budget this year. In July of 2024, Gavin Newsom had a news conference bragging about.
Hold on. You want to see what a smelt fish look like? A smelt fish? Let me see. We're going to come back. Hold on. We're going to come back to that. Maybe they're important. We never know, right?
Smelt are a family of relatively small fish found in the northern hemisphere. They inhabit the North Atlantic and North Pacific Oceans, as well as many rivers, streams, and lakes in North
That look like bait. It's like a fake bait.
America, Asia, and Europe. Smelt are silvery in color with a very slender cylindrical shape. They are closely related to trout. Like trout, they have one soft dorsal fin on top of their body. Most species are marine or anadromous. Anadromous fish live most of their lives in the sea, but they must travel into fresh water to spawn. There are also landlocked smelt populations that do not enter the ocean. Smelt primarily feed on crustaceans and insects. They will also eat their own young. They often occur in large shoals. Smelt vary in size by species.
They just went past that. They want to save a fish that eat their own young. I guess that's what they did. Is that a metaphor? Is that some type of Illuminati metaphor?
Occur in large shoals. Smelt vary in size by species. Their reproduction methods vary by habitat.
Whoa.
They often occur in large. They will also eat their own young. Like the Eulachon smelt, grow to be 6 to 9 inches, placing their eggs in rivers, where they shelf within the first year of life. Many smelt species.
That's some Illuminati stuff. They eat their own young and they wanted to save it, and then saving that, they eat.
Welcome back. At least 5
eating these people
put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snow melt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smelt fish by giving it less.
Now we know it's worthless.
Water. It didn't work, but didn't care about the people of California. Newsom's press office is denying the existence of any water restoration declaration document, though. They're claiming that it's pure fiction. Fox Business
Maria,
has
they
confirmed.
cut the budget this year.
Go ahead.
They cut the
Trump just make up some shit. Yeah, that's my dude. Trump just make up some shit.
Budget this year in July of 2024.
Hey, even if it ain't a bill, he just came up with a great idea. Did they stop it, though? That's what I want to know. Did they stop it? Like, hey, did he stop it and then there was no bill? Or did they not stop it? We still don't know the answer. Because if there was no bill, then maybe somebody should have made a bill. Then I'll let Trump off. And if there was no bill and he completely lied about it, but y'all actually still did it and prohibited it, and it could have fixed it, then I don't care about this law.
Gavin Newsom had a news conference bragging about that they were ready. This is July this past year, that they were ready. And number two, they cut the budget. They cut the budget to the fire department. You can't tell me that Elon Musk is attempting to go to Mars and we can't get pressure and water to a hydrant. We have plentiful water. We're on the Pacific. There's endless amounts of water right there available. And they cut the budgets on the fire department. This is not a new problem, by the way. They're going to try to make this out to be a climate warming agenda.
Yeah.
For 35 years, you have Santa Ana winds, low humidity, and fires in California, hundreds of them. This was just mismanagement, a lack of priorities, the government trying to handle fringe group and support these weird agendas rather than the things that really concern the California people.
Well, I mean, look, Fox Business has confirmed that Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass and the majority of the L.A. City Council did cut more than $17 million from the L.A. Fire Department in 2024 and the 25 budget. I mean, you just said it, Greg. Why would they cut the fire budget?
And where did it go? So it went from $837 million to $819 million. Listen. I manage 2 Madden franchises. I know that the budget is important. That rollover is important. What happened to the $17 million? That's a couple rookies. That's a couple picks. That's a bonus. That's a good cornerback bonus. Come on.
Look, they bring in $220 billion a year in revenue, and they spend less than $2 billion on the fire budget. So you tell me why. Okay, if that's not where my intentions or my agendas, my priority is not this. They will spend the entire revenue of the state of California will be spent on this one fire, but they're going to go tap the federal government. And all I could say.
Are y'all looking at that? Like, I hope we not like too like fucking what do you call it? Like, we grown numb to things like this because games and Grand Theft Auto and you could burn down houses and stuff. Like, this is like this is up there with like the Chicago fires, and like this is a massive thing. People are going through this. I want to really I know we're on YouTube and we watching this and we just reacting to it. Do you see these fucking images? This was somebody's house. This looks like, if you told me this was a Hollywood studio scene or Disneyland, they had like the like a fucking ride at an amusement park. Like, I've seen, like, remember Disneyland when it had the Twister thing and you could go there and the cow flew? That's feel like what I'm watching, like, and it feel like you're going to go and they're going to set it up for the next person, the next group to come in there, group of 15. This is somebody's fucking living room, like and their patio outside. This is like some biblical shit.
Government. And all I could say is if I had a leader that was doing this in one of my companies, I would say he's either incompetent or he intentionally wanted.
You know how hot it must have been? The air quality is already bad in LA. This shit like China. Times 2. Look at that. That like some demolition shit, like a war zone.
Wants to hurt the state.
Unbelievable.
Either one are terrible. The incompetence is terrible. The intention to damage is terrible.
Yeah.
But this is why we left California as permanent residents over 13 years ago and moved to Florida. Because the priorities are
right. Do they got like is the cameras got a filter on it? And they're like in IR or something, and they making it look like showing us the intense heat, or is this shit like, is the camera crazy HD or is
always incorrect?
real?
It's like the Coastal Commission stops any kind of development. Most oppressive group for regulation and development along the whole coastline from Cabo San Lucas all the way up to Seattle.
Yeah. Well, look, the LA fire chief warned the mayor apparently last month that the $17 million in cuts would severely limit the department's capacity to prepare for, train for, and respond to large-scale emergencies, including wildfires.
They always getting warnings. There's always a warning. And they go, oh yeah, whatever. Let's trace the money and see where it went.
Extraordinary. Grant, you're now in Florida. You're watching what's happening with your home, and I know you're continuing trying to have business as usual as much as you can, given the circumstances. You just launched the first ever Bitcoin real estate fund on Florida's Space Coast. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so what we did was, it's hard to move off this Malibu story because it's so big, it's so damaging, and so many people have been negatively impacted.
That was a weird twist, but we're going to continue.
My church was in there last night, literally watering the place down to keep it from burning to the ground. Regarding what we're doing with real estate and Bitcoin on the Space Coast is we basically took a piece of real estate that we're buying under replacement cost to take advantage of the correction in the real estate market that we have right now and combining Bitcoin, taking the most stable asset class there is, multifamily apartments, the cash flows. We pay cash for the asset. We combine it with Bitcoin, and we take a property that would.
Why do I feel dirty that came on like that? I feel dirty, like I gotta go take a shower. Damn. Nevertheless, what they said before that was true, but at the end, got a little iffy right there.
For what's happening now.
We care about the truth here. If you subscribe here to The Cave, everything we do when we look at these news reports, whether it's this, real life events, some crime, podcasts, it's about the truth. It's about leaving the matrix. We tell the truth here. We take accountability, no lies. No gaslighting, no slick talking. We call it out.
And Dennis, can you describe more about your location right now?
Well, if you look at the screen right now, you'll see a white F-150. That happens to be my truck. So I'm in that building you're looking at right there.
Oh, I see it.
And as you can see from that building,
the
we
fire
have
right
a
there.
lot of good brush clearance around us and a very secure facility.
It don't matter though. If those winds, those Santa Ana winds kick up, it'll blow all those ambers, those leaves that's on fire. If a bunch of them get on top of this roof, you see all this mesh and stuff like that, and it'll take all that, man. But
And
hopefully
Dennis,
it don't.
can you explain the significance of these TV towers? Not just ours, but really the ability for
That's
local
crazy.
TV
He go outside
stations,
and it's on
local
fire.
radio stations, and even law enforcement and first responders to use, the antennas up there and the towers to get vital information to our viewers now being threatened by this fire.
Yeah, Mount Wilson is critical for most of LA County due to its location in the middle where it sees into the Antelope Valley as well as south, all the way down into Orange County, east into San Bernardino, Riverside, etc. So not only do we have a lot of TV assets up here, radio assets up here, we do have a lot of other assets such as, radar for LAX is up here. The Secret Service is up here with their two-way communications. Postal inspectors.
I don't know if he was
Sheriff's
supposed to say that.
Department.
Yeah.
Pretty much every bit of communications that happens in LA County goes through Mount Wilson in one way, shape, or form.
I feel like we ain't supposed to be knowing this.
So it's a very vital asset to day-to-day operations for LA and the surrounding area.
It's such a historic site too, Dennis. It is such a beautiful site on a normal day. You can
That's
see
some new movie with Tom Cruise. Terror approaching Mount Wilson, or take over Mount Wilson. War, take over Mount Wilson. Or
all of
some shit. I
Southern
don't know.
California, and we believe this shot that we're looking at right now is actually from atop the building that you're in right now, where we're seeing a lot of that smoke, the flames just feet from the building.
Yo, it's
You
so
also-
real it
you
look
said
fake.
There's plenty of brush clearance there, and we know firefighters are there on the ground. Dennis, can you describe maybe the last time you saw fire threatening this site? The last time and how close that was?
The last two big incidences we had up here was the Bobcat fire.
Why they don't just go? Why they don't just go cut these trees down? Is that bad? They just cut the trees down, like, and make a tree line, a burn line, kind of.
And then previous to that was the station fire. I believe that was in 2009. Turn it over and they'll start putting water on it and putting out all the little spot fires. But they really want to let what they can burn to take that fuel away and keep it from sparking back up, etc. So it's going to be
I just feel like it's more at risk to blow in the wind and go than if it's standing here like this straight up than if they just burn it down. I don't know what I know, right? What the fuck I know? But I don't know.
long fight today into tonight and tomorrow.
We need some lumberjacks. Bring the lumberjacks back.
We're set up to weather this quite well.
Absolutely. And Dennis, lastly, have you been
All
in
right,
communication
man.
directly
Jesus.
with any fire crews up there?
Oh, yeah. I'm constantly tied in with LA County Fire, Cal Fire.
All right, man. This is crazy for these people. Pray for them. I ain't going to keep that too much longer, man. You see it live. This is a lot of communication, so you can't get rid of this. I'm sure they got a lot of security there. But these people, God bless these people, because these California was not prepared. Come on, you got to put it in the hand of a Republican. At least they might try, right? It's like you get, like, when you first start dating a person, maybe it's always good, that honeymoon period. Y'all could use a honeymoon period. Y'all ain't have a honeymoon period with the Democrats in a long time. It ain't been nobody new. Like, it's stupid. Like, even like, do black people in California know that the Democrats could have passed their reparations bill and to get y'all some money? Like, they could have passed it in California and they, like, cannibalized their own bill. And they said the reason, I seen on Roland Martin, he always, tell one side of the story. But anyway, he had the dude up there, and they said the reason why they did it, because if it got to Gavin Newsom, they knew he wouldn't have approved it or something like that, so they just went on here, did him a favor, so he ain't had to veto it. And even Roland Martin was like, what? What? Let me see if I can find that. Fuck it. Let me see. Let me see. He probably took it down. Was it this?
Set up a task force to examine the issue of reparations. The task force came back and said they calculated that the city of San Francisco should provide payments of about $5 million to African Americans who live in San Francisco. They laid out a criteria as to who should qualify for that. Well, the San Francisco NAACP then put out a statement where they said they actually
I don't even think this is what I'm talking about, but I just seen this one.
Rejected this particular committee's recommendation, arguing that the money should be dispersed by investments and opportunities to the Black community, but not direct cash payments. And
Did the people of San Francisco, did my Black people know that the San Francisco NCAA rejected a $5 million per person directly to you stimulus? If I was part of the KKK, I would have joined the Democrats so I could get on the board of the NAACP and reject this. This is a highlight. This is KKK move. Put them up. Put your robe up there on the rafters. For that move, you got what? You got them to reject a $5 million reparations directly to them? Oh my God, they put it. Fuck D Rose and the Bulls. Shout out to you, D Rose, putting that number one up. They put his. Hey, you know who robe that is? That's the Grand Dragon. Yeah, he got those niggas to put it up. To deny it. He's up there. He'd be legendary. It'd be the myth. Are you kidding me? Let's get back. Come on.
San Francisco Board of Supervisors embraced the
I don't even see this, but I know Roland gonna spin this shit.
111 recommendations from the city appointed reparations committee, including lump sum payments of $5 million to every eligible Black citizen, guaranteed income of $97,000 per year for 250 years, eliminating a personal debt and tax burdens in homes for just $1. The San Francisco Reparations Committee's final report is due on July 1st. Joining us now is the president of the NAACP chapter there, also a member of the San Francisco Reparations Task Force, Reverend Dr. Amos Brown. Doc, glad to have
Let's
you
see,
on
he
the
might
show.
tell us something we don't know.
Thank you for the opportunity.
First, Pastor Brown, you have been a longtime supporter of reparations, correct?
Yes, I have. And also I'm vice chair of the state reparations
He got that Democrat bad Wi-Fi. It's always dropping.
task force.
So you're a member of the San Francisco Task Force Committee and the vice chair of the state committee that's been examining this as well. A lot of people have been blasting you and the chapter for this particular statement, saying, how dare you oppose the money going direct as opposed to the 5 areas that y'all outlined. Why has the chapter taken the position to oppose the committee's recommendation of direct payments as opposed to the 5 areas y'all laid out?
Let me give you some clarification.
He about to say clarification.
And do some truthful branch. Cash payments.
Okay, first of all, Pastor Brown, hold on. You broke up there, so start your comment over again. Go ahead.
Let me be a truth teller. Is not against cash payments at all. But we're against being put in a trick bag and set up for failure. And those members of the Board of Supervisors gave lip service to the concept, the idea of reparations. But beginning with the chair, He's the one who said no cash. And the chairperson of the Finance Committee, an Asian lady, Ms. Chan, said, we have a deficit in the city. And we cannot afford it. The point, brother, I'm making is that we must not let our adversaries, whoever they may be, set us up for another study, another to be put on a shelf and to collect dust. We must have action.
And so there are people who have been opposing direct payments. They've been attacking them. They've said, oh, this is going to bankrupt individuals in San Francisco, right. Things like. So you believe that if that is how it's set up, it's guaranteed never to pass. Is that what you're saying?
They did not on Tuesday night vote at all. This thing has been delayed until October. And I feel that we should not be delaying doing the right thing. Dr. King said the time is always right to do right. They could have, it was put into the document. And that was unfortunate, for then the general public began to focus on the 5 million with no plan. And even if we had a problem with the deficit, somebody should have said, we can get from the private sector monies to establish a reparation fund. We have billionaires in San Francisco per capita than any major city in the United States, according to a recent study. So I just feel, and my constituent base feels, we must be deliberative, and we must move to bring about redress and restoration.
NAACP today called upon the Board of Supervisors to reject a one-time $5 million reparations payment to blacks, but instead call upon the city to make investments in 5 key areas to atone for a history of racism, discrimination, and mistreatment. Now, you said, and it lays out in here what those 5 are, and that is invest in education, economic empowerment, housing, health care, and feel more.
It sounds like he said a bunch of nothing, and they gonna tell you, hey, they don't want to give you your $5 million. If they tax it and it becomes 2.5, y'all can't use that in San Francisco and other places. Come on.
Or Heritage Center. Now, you said that
you keep believing that these Democrats trying to help you.
You believe in payments and this. So again,
yes.
Okay. So, but the statement doesn't address payments, and so people assumed
that was a misprint. Let me admit it. That was a misprint. That line was left out of there. That was a misprint. But the basic position, what I'm saying, Brother Roland, is we definitely support payment. But you got to have a plan.
So
no, you don't.
Brown,
no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Give me my shit.
I just want to be clear. Go back to my iPad. The statement that was released, the headline says, San Francisco NAACP rejects $5 million reparations payment to blacks. And then it says it in the so you're saying that this statement that was released publicly, this statement is wrong.
That's right.
So the San Francisco NAACP supports direct payments plus investments to the black community.
That's right. And in the 100 plus recommendations, some of the same things.
See, he keep adding stuff to those payments. He don't want to just give you out here money. He playing games with words.
What we introduced in 2019. You see how
making words games.
Introduced the horror, Asians.
Somebody else
a vote before the citizens.
All right, Reverend Dr. Brown, we appreciate you joining.
What are you gonna say?
On Faraji Muhammad Show, the culture, right here on your network, the Black Star Media Network. And I've been following what's going on with California and San Francisco reparations. There were over 100 recommendations that were given at this meeting that just took place on Tuesday. What's happened, and there's been a lot of reparations activists, as well as Dr. William Darity, who've been critical of this $5 million number because it's taken, first of all, it's unrealistic. It's totally unrealistic. San Francisco is dealing with a $728 million budget deficit over the next 2 years, okay? $5 million per, and there's about 50,000 African Americans in San Francisco. From what I understand, it's going to be, you have to be at least 18 years or older and meet some other criteria. And then it's also important to understand, in the state of California, race-based policies are illegal.
What, he don't want to get back to the money. Who cares where you're going to get it from? Pass it. We'll deal with it later. You putting the cart before the horse. Oh, yeah, we want to give them the money, but first they got to get a plan. No, give me the money. You think all black people just, we all dumb and not educated? And come on. We got degrees. What do you mean? You think you give it to the average black person that's going to work, that they're going to go spend it and splurge it? Maybe they'll do a little bit, but they'll all get it. A lot of people sitting there. Why you think people in the black community is so susceptible to scams? Shout out watching, Pocket Watching with JT. You watch it, we so susceptible because we always trying to, oh yeah, put this down or invest here. We could do this and turn this and that. We always trying to flip something. We got the drug dealer mentality. So, but the majority of us that's logical and educated and we hold ourselves and conduct ourselves in a different way, we like, nah, okay. Maybe I put in a couple parlays, but then I'm going to get back to my shit. We're going to build a business, do this, whatever that, blah, 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 Bill. Come on. He trying to play us. He doing all this. The brother doing all this, but he gonna say some bull
in the in the state of California. This is why the California
he was just telling us the numbers, 50,000, but then he got sidetracked because he's like,
task force, which Dr. Amos Brown also sits on. This is why they're going to distribute whatever they come up with based upon lineage as opposed to race, because they want to make sure it doesn't get overturned in court. Also, it's important to understand when you study the history of California, California does not have a history of slavery. They do have a rampant history of racism, housing discrimination, redlining, segregation, voter suppression, etc. So, just very quickly, Dr. William Darity in this article from the Washington Post said, calling for $5 million payout by a local government undercuts the credibility of the reparations effort.
So what? Let's put it on record that it was done. Looking, we did it right here. Yeah, they ain't pay us yet, but we got an IOU now. What else? That could have been it. That could have been it. Now you saying, oh yeah, it wouldn't have passed anyway. But so we tried, but that's what the Democrats say in the White House too, right? Oh yeah, we was gonna do this for you, we were gonna do that for you, and we tried, but the Republicans, they stopped us from. But when it comes to Israel, when it comes to Ukraine, somehow they get over that. They don't got to take the votes and the numbers. It always matches up. Everybody agree. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, he'll go on their side and blah, blah, blah and do that. That's why I really don't like him that much. But he'll do that. Like, come on. They'll find a way to get some money for the illegal immigrants, too. Ain't nobody disagreeing. The Republicans hate illegal immigrants, but somehow the Democrats have been able to get them food stamps and a bunch of other aids and $5,000 here and blah, 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 get them. It's crazy. You saying that the Republicans hate black people more than the illegal immigrants? It go that deep? Because somehow y'all always got the votes and nobody in your way and no legislation and that. I guess because the immigrants are outside the law or something.
So,
but here's the deal, though. There are people who disagree with Darity.
Listen, you could go find this if you want. I don't want to turn this
make
video
sure
into a
that
whole other video, but if you made it this far, please subscribe. I keep it real here, and we're just going to shoot like that. Good people know good people and go do good things despite bad people. Let me know, Cave Dwellers.